Oh, this got people talking too. This got people talking. What's going on with y'all? What's going on with y'all? What's going on with y'all, man? Oh man. So I wanted to gauge people's opinion, right? So I made this post. Now, obviously, I'm no casual, right? In my opinion, and with respect to Tim Duncan, right? Um, he's widely respected. He's an all-time great. Um, I'm pretty sure many people have him in their top 10. But I made this post, right? Just to garner some, I guess you could say, to spark a conversation. I made this post here on the page. It says Duncan over Kobe is a very fair take, even if you don't necessarily agree with it. So let's read the caption. It says here, Duncan over Kobe is one of those takes that instantly gets people emotional. But if we're being objective, it's a completely fair argument. Even if you personally disagree with it, excuse me. A lot of fans hear quote Duncan over Kobe and interpret it as disrespect toward Kobe, when in reality it says more about how great Tim Duncan was than anything else. We're talking about a player who won 5 championships, 3 Finals MVPs, 2 MVPs, made 15 All NBA teams, 15 All Defensive teams, and was the foundation of a dynasty that remained relevant for nearly 2 decades. The level of consistency, leadership, defense, and winning Duncan brought is almost unmatched in NBA history. On the other hand, Kobe's resume speaks for itself: 5 championships, 2 Finals MVPs, 1 MVP, countless iconic moments, arguably the greatest difficult shot maker ever, facts, and one of the most influential players the sport has ever seen. There are plenty of valid reasons to rank Kobe higher, and many people do. But that's exactly the point. There are valid reasons on both sides. Not every debate has a clear right or wrong answer. Sometimes two all time greats have accomplishments and impacts that are close enough that reasonable people can rank them differently. Saying Duncan is ahead of Kobe isn't some outrageous basketball opinion. It's not hating. It's not revisionist history. It's simply a ranking that can be backed up by a strong body of evidence. You don't have to agree with it. You can have Kobe comfortably higher and still acknowledge that Duncan has a legitimate case. That's what makes basketball discussions interesting in the first place. The moment a take can be supported by championships, MVPs, finals MVPs, longevity, defense, advanced metrics, team success, and historical impact, it's no longer a crazy take. It's just a different conclusion. Duncan over Kobe, you can disagree, but acting like it's an unreasonable opinion is where the conversation loses credibility. Now, I posted this, knowing that it was going to spark a debate because I don't know, these type of posts get people talking, and social media, right? We're here to engage. But a lot of people, and in my opinion, obviously I have Kobe over Duncan. Given the fact that I felt Kobe could do more offensively. Granted, Tim Duncan was definitely a great defensive player in his own right, as well as Kobe Bryant. But I think the degree of difficulty Kobe had to face as far as, being a primary ball handler, scorer, not saying Timmy D wasn't a scorer. He could score. He had nice, they call him the big fundamental for a reason, right? He had very nice post moves, nice touch around the rim, was a very good rim protector in his early years. Obviously, when you get older, the knees get to you. But and, they obviously had battles, and Kobe and Tim Duncan in the Western Conference. But obviously, I think Kobe Bryant, from a simple eye test, Kobe's definitely the better player. Tim Duncan, to a degree, needed needed guards to get him the ball in order for him to be effective. And granted, basketball is NBA basketball is a 5-on-5 sport, so it's not like one guy can do it all. But as far as Kobe, his relentless, the way he approached the game, the tough shot making, the eye test, 81-point game when he retired. At the time he retired, was top four in scoring all time, closest thing to Jordan as far as carbon copy. I mean, there's no question in my mind, in my opinion, respectfully, that Kobe Bryant is the better player than Tim Duncan. But as I said in the caption, it's not a crazy point to say Tim Duncan is ahead of Kobe if you're talking about impact to his team, stats, all NBAs, stuff like that. I also think Tim Duncan won two Finals MVP, no, two regular season MVPs, and yeah. But let's see what some of these guys had to say. Somebody put, "This is brought to you by LeBron fans." Huh? It's kind of weird how this literally has nothing to do with LeBron, and somebody brings up LeBron. I mean, wow, I don't know. But he said, "This is brought to you by LeBron's fans after his losing record against Timmy. No one was saying anything about Timmy until Spurs whooped LeBron." Some of these commenters say the craziest things. This one guy says Duncan is a better player. This one guy comments Duncan was a better player than Kobe. He says Duncan has more Finals MVPs, three to Kobe's two, more league MVPs. Duncan's two to Kobe's one. Duncan won the Rookie of the Year. Kobe didn't. Field goal percentage, Duncan 50%, Kobe 44%. Granted, Kobe took, I think, harder shots. Tim Duncan was a much taller player. He played more closer to the basket, so you can factor that in, right? But for shooting 44% as a guard is, I mean, that's not bad. You know what I'm saying? That's not bad from the floor. It's not bad. Um, he also puts Bleacher Report's top 50 greatest players of all time. I think it was a top 10. Obviously, Bleacher Report ranked Kobe 11th, which, in my opinion, is bullshit. Kobe's top five, in my opinion. Yeah. Somebody put Duncan over LeBron. I don't know how people bring up LeBron in this conversation. Somebody put Duncan is a far better than Cold Brick Princess Tattoo. Whoa, okay. Somebody put only would say that you probably think LeBron is a better shooter than Bean. Yeah, I don't know how this becomes a LeBron conversation. I don't know. Yeah. Tim Duncan is definitely in the top 10. Somebody put you goofy as hell if you believe this shit. Somebody put Duncan couldn't even beat his sixth man playing on effing Argentina. This shit has to stop. Kobe kicked Shaq out of LA and repeated. Duncan couldn't defend any effing award. Okay. So we have some mixed opinions. Somebody also commented Kobe has a winning record in the playoffs versus Tim Duncan with and without Shaq. Okay. Hmm. I'm pretty sure in most basketball fans, Kobe is definitely ranked above Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan isn't doesn't. Granted, there's the GOAT debate is always centered around LeBron and Jordan, but nobody compares, like, as far as like being a carbon copy. Nobody is as close to Jordan than Kobe Bryant. So yeah, yeah. All right. So game four. Oops. Game four is today, and I'm going to get my prediction. So obviously I had Spurs in six. So obviously I'm going to pick the Spurs to win this game. But there were a couple things that coming out of game three, right? A couple of headlines, the whole Wemby shove on Jalen Brunson. Many people felt that the Spurs were playing with a level of physicality that was crossing the line. Am I dropping frames? Hold on. Let me make sure I'm not dropping frames. Okay, give me 1 second. Because if I'm dropping frames, that's no bueno. Let me see. Am I dropping frames? Okay, so the bit rate is good. Is the volume working? Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Okay, so Twitch is fine. For some reason, YouTube is saying that I'm dropping frames. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Okay. Mm, uh, Let me make sure I'm not dropping frames. Okay, it looks like we're good. We're chilling, we're chilling, we're chilling. Okay. All right. Okay, we're vibing, we're chilling. So yeah, back to what I was saying. So yeah, there was a level. Many people felt that the Spurs were playing with a heightened level of physicality that wasn't being officiated fairly. Okay, and I want to start by saying this. So a report came out, and I'm gonna get into my. Obviously, I said Spurs will be winning this game, and I'm gonna give my reasons why. And I'm also gonna talk about how close this series is between these two teams, the Spurs and the Knicks. Okay, but before I do that, a report came out that via Shams Charania from ESPN that says Victor Wembanyama will not. The NBA will not upgrade Victor Wembanyama's uncalled, in my opinion, a flagrant foul. They're not going to call that a flagrant foul. The foul that he had on Jalen Brunson. Here's the clip.
A lot of post wrestling. Watch this play. This is what frustrated Brunson. Oh, whoa! That's excuse me. That should be a flagrant one. I can understand why Brunson, and then Wemby's laughing at it, and Brunson's got to be smart. He can't retaliate.
Now, in my opinion, right? Because I'm fair. I'm not gonna just just because I picked the Spurs, I'm not going to I'm not going to be negligent of objectivity. This was definitely a foul. I wouldn't say it's a flagrant foul on the simple fact that, and you can call me a hater or not, whatever, but I don't think it was unnecessary contact because if you look, there was and I'm not gonna play the slow motion clip, but there was a slow motion clip of, you can see Jalen Brunson literally grabbing his jersey, and there are many instances in Game 1 and Game 2 where the Knicks' level of physicality was heightened, and they were literally grabbing Wemby on every single pick and roll. Like they really did not want Wemby to get any dunks at the rim. They were being extremely physical, and it was fine when they were winning, right? But when they lose, it's a big topic of discussion. Monica McNutt on ESPN, I was watching First Take. She was complaining about it, and it's like you Knicks fans, you guys are hang your hats on being this tough nosed squad. Nothing comes easy, shit like that. But when the Spurs match your level of physicality, it's a problem. It's pathetic. It's disgusting in my opinion, right? But the bottom line is, no Knicks player did anything about this, right? This happened in the first quarter, as you can see in the clip, and no Knicks player did anything about it. Now, do I expect there to be a heightened level of physicality coming into Game 4? Yes, because I feel like the Knicks need to make a statement. But Draymond Green came out and actually spoke on, the incident, and was like, he said himself that if Steph Curry, had Wemby did what he did to Brunson to Steph Curry, Draymond Green said that he probably get kicked out of the game.
Don't not for 1 second think that didn't matter. Oh, that mattered.
Jalen Brunson stood up for himself there, but nobody else really did.
I wish Steph Curry would stand up for himself right there and not just watch Victor Wembanyama take his hand in the back of Steph Curry's head.
What would Draymond Green have done right
I'm
there?
probably going to get thrown out right there. And it may cost us Game 3. But Game 4.
You would have done, what was the thing you said to that Hana Hoops account? I'm going to crush those tickets.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you would have done.
Absolutely. Right like, by the way, you're not pushing Steph Curry by the back of the head down to the ground. And I'm seeing Josh Hart was like, yo, No, you get right in there and you make something happen. Because guess what? I may get thrown out of game 3 because you're not doing that. But when I come back for game 4, you got to deal with me, and you got to deal with me.
Carmelo Anthony also came out and said, I think he commented on it. He said that he not appreciated, but he liked the fact that Wemby did what he did to Jalen Brunson, saying, get off me, little guy. He didn't make nothing much. He didn't make much of it. There we go.
Trying to win the title.
This is not a Pat McAfee show.
Trying to win the title, trying to win the championship. So by any means necessary, we got to find the edge. We got to get the edge. And if it comes down to the best player on the team pushing the other best player on the team, then yeah, that's what we want. I like the fact that Wemby did that. No, we're not having that today. We don't come set this screen. I'm getting you out of here. So the physicality of that, I don't think that's even about being physical. I just think that's a mindset that Wemby understands. He's on the road. He's in Madison Square Garden. He's on 7th Avenue, and he got to show up. And he's letting it be known that he's setting the tone. He's setting the pace. What I would have liked to see was somebody on our team, on the Knicks team, jump in there and say something, whether he's nice.
And that's my point. It's like, if the Knicks are just this tough, hard-nosed team, why didn't y'all say nothing? Why didn't y'all react? I'm not saying to incite violence, obviously, but like, Knicks fans are just so soft, bro. Like,
I say do nothing stupid, but you have to protect our asset. JB is our asset. You have to protect that asset in those moments. Wemby can't push JB like that and just start laughing at him. To me, he's very aware of what he was doing. And if you look at that clip, forget Wemby and JB. Look at Cat. Look what Cat is doing over there. So it's happening to everybody.
Yeah, John.
Yeah, man. I felt that
trying to win the title, trying to win the championship. So
I felt that all the Spurs did was, hey guys, this is what I felt the Spurs did. And this could have been maybe a conversation they had in the locker room. I don't know. They say, you know what? This Knicks team, they kicked our asses in game 1 and 2. And they're playing extremely physical. And there were some instances in game 1 and game 2 where the Spurs players were complaining. But they said, fuck complaining. We're going to match the level of physicality and let the refs dictate how far this is going to go. And so far, it's worked for them. Now, Mitch Johnson, I spoke about this in the previous stream. Mitch Johnson, that adjustment, putting Keldon Johnson on Karl-Anthony Towns and taking Wemby off Karl-Anthony Towns, I felt was a great adjustment, because now Wemby can rest on defense. He can run to the basket, get his lobs, have more energy to score the basketball, be more aggressive, and let Keldon Johnson make it as tough as possible on Karl-Anthony Towns. Because remember, in games 1 and 2, the Knicks, and in my opinion, the Knicks are at their most lethal when the offense is running through Karl-Anthony Towns. Jalen Brunson is going to get his touches. Don't get me wrong. He's going to figure out how to be great within the offense. But a big reason the Spurs won and the Knicks lost in that game 3 is, in addition to Mitch Johnson's adjustment, but also the fact that Karl-Anthony Towns, he was out of rhythm, and Jalen Brunson was taking a bunch of shots. The Knicks weren't playing their normal brand of basketball. What got them this far? Prior to game 3, they were on a 13-game winning streak. Largest point differential in NBA history. Right? So, again, I got Spurs winning this game. But I have to say this. I sort of kind of feel like the pressure is on the Knicks, because if the Knicks loses this game, you cannot tell me that the Knicks players won't have the energy sucked out of them. Can you imagine you did everything you're supposed to do. You won games 1 and 2 on the road. Everybody's talking about how you guys are dominating. The narrative is it's over. And to an extent, I felt that it was over too. Right? But now the Spurs can, I believe, reshape the narrative in game 4 because they really have nothing to lose. I believe they're favored in this game. I think the Knicks are favored in this game. Right? I believe. Who's favored? Let me make sure I say that correctly. Who's favored in or yeah. So the New York Knicks are slightly favored in game 4. The Spurs don't really have anything to lose. They're the younger team. It just seems like everybody expects the Knicks to win. So if I'm this young San Antonio Spurs, and the thing you gotta realize, home court advantage doesn't seem like home court advantage is really a thing. Hell, the Knicks walked into San Antonio and won 2 games, and the Spurs responded by walking into MSG, a hostile environment, and won game 3. So shit, we already won 1 game. Why not win another one? Come out lights blazing, right? Come out lights blazing. Now, obviously, Wemby, the NBA decided, not to call a flagrant. And as much as I disagree, you cannot tell me that the NBA is not treating Wembanyama. I mean, he's the next face, but they're not even hiding this shit. Because even if Wemby got a flagrant foul, if they call a flagrant foul for that, he'd have 3 points. You need 4 in the playoffs to be suspended for a game. So it's not like the NBA handing Wembanyama a flagrant foul would have done anything, but there's clearly some favoritism going on. But it comes to the territory, man. When you're the 7'4" alien that's up next as far as being the face, shit, it comes with its perks. But it's not the reason why the Knicks lost, right? The Knicks lost because they didn't play their normal game. Now on to my next point, because I have some stats. The NBA Finals are much closer than this 2-1 series says. Now, the first stat is this. Every game has been decided by 10 points or less as far as, the end of the game. In game 1, the Knicks beat the Spurs 105-95. That's a 10-point game. In game 2, the Knicks beat the Spurs 105-104. That's 1 point. That's a 1-point game. In game 3, the Spurs beat the Knicks 115-111. That's a 4-point game. So the combined point differential through 3 games, you have the Knicks +5. I want you guys to think about that for a second. +5 through 3 finals games. They've combined for over 320 points, and one team has outscored the other by a total of 5 points. That's basically nothing. Now, what broke my heart the most in games 1 and 2 was the fact that it was still those were close games. It's just that the Knicks figured out they rallied in late in the game. To sum it up, they rallied late in the game. They hit timely shots, and Brunson came up in the clutch. If you look at game 2, right, where the Knicks won by a single point, if Wembanyama, granted, I hated that last play that Mitch Johnson drew up, that shit pissed me off. But if let's say Wemby hits that jumper, we're talking about it being 1-1. Possibly 2-1 in the Spurs' favor. But it didn't happen. But because he didn't hit the shot, everybody says the Knicks are dominating. But since the Spurs won, it's a toss-up. I don't know if you guys watched First Take, but I saw that look in Stephen A. Smith's eye. He is scared. All I'm going to say is this. The Knicks better not lose tonight. The Knicks better not lose tonight. Don't, man. Don't, man. There was a clip I saw. Let me share this with you guys real quick. Where is it? Hold on. Let me make sure I find this shit, though. Where is it? All right, I want to play this for you guys. Paul Pierce. Where is it? Bookmarks. So Paul Pierce came out on his podcast with not his podcast, I think it's KG's podcast, KG Certified. And he said that the Spurs should start Dylan Harper and bench De'Aaron Fox. Now, as we all know, De'Aaron Fox hasn't been having the best series. Now, granted, he's dealing with an ankle injury, but it's the finals. Nobody wants to hear that, right? It's do or die. But here's Paul Pierce on him saying that the Spurs should bench De'Aaron Fox and start Dylan Harper. I'll give my thoughts after.
In the scout report, actually if I'm saying, I'm bringing Fox off the bench. I've had enough. Like, Dylan Harper is playing too good, but on the flip side, Dylan Harper is comfortable in coming off the bench.
You don't want to lose Fox, P. He
is like single-handedly keeping the Knicks in the game.
He just got a better matchup. He got a better matchup, bro.
No, he got to make shots. Like, I look at Fox as a scorer, bro. Like, he is not hitting shots. Like, Fox has always been known as a scorer.
Bro.
Like, he's getting good looks, too. It's not like they're doing anything in the scout report to limit Fox. He's getting his shots. He's getting open threes. He's getting to that midi. He's just not making shots.
38% in the finals.
Yeah, like, he got to make shots. Bro, if he makes shots, Spurs will run away with this.
He did put him up 5, though, later.
Bro, you think he just missing shots? That's defense, bro.
No, it ain't the defense.
Man, get the fuck out. So he just missing shots because he's missing shots? No, it don't work like that, P.
You look at his looks.
No, P. No.
He just
defense, my dog. No. Dog, and then you got Castle. You got Harper playing well. You got Big Fella. Bro,
I love Keldon Johnson's minutes. He's giving them good minutes.
Yeah, he is, but it ain't all going to be perfect, though, P. Somebody on that whole thing is not going to play well, and he just so happened. He hit a timely shot for them to go up.
He the oldest out of all them.
What that mean?
He got to be solid.
Man, listen,
I need him to be solid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you. I hear you. It's just sometimes reality don't go like that. And a motherfucker is playing defense on him, Paul Pierce. He ain't just out here like, yeah, I'm just out here.
It seemed like it.
Yeah, he missing but
open ones, though.
Bro.
Open ones.
What does that mean? I don't know if we want that. I don't know if we want the Sacramento Fox. Give me on a nothing team that was going nowhere. Stop it, okay? Will you stop?
Make sure y'all drop a like on the live stream. I appreciate the support. Let's get it.
Bro, this is why I can't stand arguing with regular fans that love their fan base. The Kings ain't got shit to do with this right now. Form the fart. They farming.
All
right, I'm going to just pause it here. I disagree with Paul Pierce. Now, obviously, if you look at the numbers, De'Aaron Fox isn't having that great of a series. He just said he's shooting 35, 38 some percent from the floor. Not your typical De'Aaron Fox, right? But Dylan Harper, I still think De'Aaron Fox is a better ball handler for the Spurs than Dylan Harper. Don't get me wrong, Dylan Harper is amazing. He's great downhill. He's using his legs, his youth to, I mean, he had a dunk over OG Anunoby. Like, that was insane. I don't know if you guys saw that in game 3. Dylan Harper is going to be amazing for the Spurs for years to come. But he's still not as great as a floor general, in my opinion, as opposed to De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox can still slow down the offense. Granted, he isn't hitting shots. But basketball is a make or miss game. You either make it or you don't. It is what it is. Play good defense. Play hard for your team. De'Aaron Fox can still be a floor general. He's been in the league longer than Dylan Harper. He's been there, sort of kind of done that, has more experience. I think the Spurs shouldn't shake things up by completely benching De'Aaron Fox, which I think will, in the finals, it'll be a knock on his, I think, confidence. And I mean, for God's sake, they just handed him a $200+ million contract. He's starting. Okay, he's starting. Now, obviously, Dylan Harper, he's been amazing. He's been great off the bench for the Spurs, but I don't think that they should just panic and start De'Aaron Fox. I mean, come on, man. Come on. That basketball is a team sport. Granted, I do believe De'Aaron Fox will pick it up. I have faith in D Fox. I have Spurs in 6, but I disagree with Paul Pierce here that he's over-exaggerating here. Exaggerating.
Farm to fork.
Farm to fork.
Farm to fork.
They farming champions up there. Another champion.
They grooming
Sabonis going to the finals
grooming.
next year.
They grooming.
Sabonis going to the finals next year.
They grooming champs up there.
Listen, dog, I'm telling you, bro.
Okay. All right, we spoke about the Spurs. We could move on from that. There's a couple of things I wanted to discuss before I get off this shit. Okay, so LeBron James recently had as we all know, LeBron James, he was the cover star for Time 100 Sports most influential people in sports. Here's the cover here. But coming out of this, right, he also had an interview with Time Sports. Was it Time Sports? Or am I tripping? Excuse me. He had an interview with Time. Sorry. And they had a couple of things that they spoke about. So the interview covered several topics. Spoke about the possibility of him retiring, and he spoke about how, when he feels that it's a bother for him to, prepare, stuff like that, et cetera, that's when he'll decide to retire. But the main thing that really became a topic of discussion was the GOAT debate, right? So when asked about his place in basketball history alongside Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and other people's, right, other all-time greats, LeBron said that he's not taking anybody over himself in NBA history. Quote, let me put this over here. Quote, it says, I'm not taking nobody over me. There's no question. But I think Mike will say the same thing. Rest his soul. Kobe will say the same thing as well. Magic will say the same thing. Bird will say the same thing. Shaq could say the same thing. The late, great Wilt, Kareem, I don't think none of us are going to take somebody else. If there's a general manager and he's eyeballing all of us on a baseline with the number 1 pick, it's gonna be hard not to take me, champ. That's LeBron James. Now, to me, I took this as, him betting on himself. When you're talking about pure basketball, right? Anybody would say, and really in anything that you do, people would say, yo, I'll take me over this guy, or I'll take myself over this person, because you have that much confidence in your ability. That's all I took from this. I didn't think much of it. And obviously it's LeBron James. People are going to, multiple media outlets are going to talk about it and make it a big thing, which it was made a big thing. So Stephen A. Smith went on First Take and spoke about LeBron's comments. And here's my bad. Here's what he had to say. Thought I saved it, but I didn't. My bad. Here we go.
Have something to do with the timing of the release of the article? It's possible. I don't know the answer.
I bet he got something to do with the timing of the damn.
There have been plenty of times. I remember I've gotten myself in heat on numerous occasions because people treat something that I said like I said it yesterday, and I said it 6 months ago, but the damn thing was held until 6 months later. I mean, it happens with magazine articles and stuff like that is what I'm saying, which is very frustrating because, damn it, had it been 6 months later, I might have said something a little bit different than I said 6 months ago, depending on, you know, what the question was and what have you. But to speak directly about LeBron, Big Perk is absolutely right in this regard. He's talking about they would say the same thing. No, they wouldn't. Michael Jordan would never tell you he's the GOAT. I know Michael Jordan. I speak to him often. I'm telling you, he has never, ever, ever once called himself the greatest. Ever. Mm-hmm. It has never happened. Kobe Bryant didn't call himself the greatest. Kareem didn't call himself the greatest. Magic didn't call himself the greatest. Bird didn't call himself the greatest. No, that's not true. That's not true. He could say they might have thought it, but they never articulated it to a reporter for print purposes to be disseminated to the masses. It is LeBron James, which brings us to LeBron James. Why would he do that? Because the man is addicted to trying to control the narrative. These are the reasons problems exist. And so many people who support him, they haven't seen the forest from the trees. They get caught up in that moment. He's saying something that moment. You know why you can't get caught up in the moment with LeBron James? Because LeBron James ain't caught up in the moment. Everything he does is calculating. He knows exactly what he's doing. He plots and he plans, hoping to have a specific impact. I would know personally. I know what he does, okay? And I'm not even knocking it because he is on the Mount Rushmore of basketball. He's one of the greatest basketball players to have ever lived. I have said repeatedly, I have him number 2 all time. But Rich Paul put it best. Yo, Rich, you acting like that's a damn insult to call him number 2 all time. It is an insult. That's how they feel. That's how they feel. And they feel that way in large part. They think for themselves, but they feel that way in large part because they know that's how he feels. He is still around because when all is said and done, he wants to eclipse every record because he knows down the line, from an historical perspective, we ain't going to remember it took him 23, 24, 25 years to do what Jordan did in 13 or what Kareem did in 19 or 20 or something like that. All we going to look at is the numbers. All-time leading scorer, this, that. We're going to look at all of those different things, and we're going to say statistically, he's the best. That is why he is still around, because he wants that narrative to be dictated. As I told you before, he's on the Mount Rushmore. He's one of the top 2 in the history in my game. But that's as far as it's getting. As long as I'm breathing and I'm on the airwaves, it will never be what he wants it to be. Period.
So it's somehow a crime that LeBron James will pick himself over anybody in NBA history. This is the level we've gotten to. And again, I'm not like, I'm very reasonable, but you can't sit there and tell me that you can't, like, you're asking Magic, Will, who they pick. You think they pick another player over themselves? That shit makes no sense. And I do believe that First Take used that quote to sort of kind of clickbait and make it seem like LeBron. Now, granted, and I'm not gonna deny that LeBron has called himself the GOAT, which I felt was you let your contemporaries, people you played against, and the fans dictate that. That was a wrong move for LeBron because now that's all LeBron haters use against him, right? Deservedly so, but for this specific point here, it doesn't make any sense, right? And we're gonna act like people act like Jordan is just this super humble guy. Stop. This is one of the most competitive guys in NBA history. You don't think Jordan's gonna pick himself over? I mean, come on, bro. Like, let's stop the cap, bro. Like, this is just pure hate by Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is clearly still hurt by LeBron approaching him in that game and, you know, calling him out. And also Stephen A. Smith going on the Pat McAfee show, yada yada yada. That really hurt Stephen A. Smith's feelings, right? Let's get into these comments, man, because I want to see what the people are saying. We really gonna act like Jordan? Look at this. Nike is literally selling a shirt with a goat holding his jersey right now. But yeah, he would never tell us he's the GOAT. And check out this clip, guys. Check out this clip. This is now, I don't think Jordan's calling himself the GOAT, but he's obviously picking himself over others. Like, that's just what competitors do.
Play this game.
I like to think that I was the best. When I leave this game, I like to think that I was the best I ever played.
Are you the best to ever play this game?
I like to think that I was.
Now, for the Jordan haters, this isn't AI. This is real.
Best. When I leave this game, I like to think that I was the best I ever played.
Can you imagine if LeBron said, well, I mean, he said it before, but then they're still to this day bashing him for it. He said that years ago. But can you imagine if LeBron said, quote, if I were to leave the game today, I would consider myself the best ever. I would like to consider myself the best ever. They'd slander him for that. But because it's LeBron James, he shouldn't say that. If it's Jordan, he can say it. It's fine. I mean, what are we doing? Like, this shit don't make sense to me, man. And y'all let me know what y'all think about this, because it's completely biased, man. It's just pure hate. This is pure hate. Anybody would pick themselves, as far as a competitive standpoint, over any of their contemporaries, because they have that much belief in their abilities. All of a sudden, because LeBron says he'd take himself, he's declaring himself to go, yada, yada, yada. He's doing this, he's doing that. Man, you Jordan fans, bro. Y'all just, you guys are pathetic. And I'm a Jordan. I have a Jordan poster in the back. Man, I ain't even gotta explain that shit. This shit is just crazy. Crazy, bro. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So yeah. Yeah, man. It's weird. So Kyrie Irving looks fresh. Fresh. Now, we all know Kyrie Irving had that gruesome ACL injury, but he was at the NBPA Top 100 camp, and he was cooking some of the players. Like, check out some of these clips. Let me run that back. No. We gotta run that back all the way. Yo, this guy is Damian Lillard said it himself. He has the most beautiful game. Like, Kyrie Irving is just supremely skilled, bro. It's insane. Face up. So I saw a clip earlier from the Hugo Black, and Kyrie Irving was actually practicing scoring against 4 people at one time. The Hugo actually spoke on it, made some commentary on it. Where is it? Here we go.
And this play is crazy because he ain't need no space really. Tween.
No, that ain't it. Here we go.
Kyrie versus 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders. This Kyrie right here, right? So he's practicing going 1-on-4. This is how he works on scoring against help defenders, right? Like getting through, finding lanes, finding angles, and then also knowing like how much space you actually have to work with. There's just something that Kyrie Irving faces a lot when he gets the ball, especially like in the shot clock or playoff situation. The team's gonna start loading up. Like, this is how he gets guarded. He has the ball here. These are where the defenders are. So this is why people be going to LA Fitness and stuff, not passing. This is literally the only way to work on what he's working on. If you're somebody you don't have a trainer, you don't got 4 people that just want to sit around and guard you all day. You know what I'm saying? And no matter how much people like it, like a lot of people might not understand it that are actually in LA Fitness. Like, hey, yo, why does this dude come out here and just not pass? like where I'm trying to work on this, right? So that's the only way that other people can get it, unless you got a group of people who y'all don't mind taking turns or but stuff like this, or even playing like maybe playing 21 or something can help, but it's still not the same because you're not gonna have people in the right spots. So the only way to really get this work is you do got to go to LA Fitness and just, for lack of better term, you got take every shot, bro. You got Jack. Kyrie versus 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders.
Yeah, man. Kyrie Irving. Now, Kyrie Irving's future is up in the air. I'm not sure. So we all know the Dallas Mavericks traded AD to the Washington Wizards, and it seems like they're in full rebuild mode for Cooper Flag, who was this year's Rookie of the Year. Kyrie Irving's future. Let's see what's going on real quick. Kyrie Irving. I think he was linked to. Was it? I saw something where they were. I think Anthony Edwards is looking to pair with Kyrie Irving. That'd be nice. Kyrie Irving. What they got? What's going on with Kyrie Irving? Okay, so he's being linked to 4 teams. Okay, let's see what this article says. So it says Kyrie Irving is linked to 4 teams in trade rumors. Let me make sure I get this clearly. It says Kyrie Irving is apparently drawing interest from coast to coast. There are currently 4 realistic trade suitors for the Dallas Mavericks star, including guard Irving, per report by veteran NBA writer Brandon Scoop B. Robinson. According to Robinson, those 4 teams are the Detroit Pistons, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Houston Rockets, and the LA Lakers. Irving, a 9-time All-Star at 34 years old, missed all of the season while recovering from an ACL tear. He is signed for $39.5 million next season and also holds a $42.4 million player option for 2027-28. Over the last several months, the Mavericks had fired GM Nico Harrison, traded away 10-time All-Star big man Anthony Davis, and parted ways. Yeah, that was a big one too. They parted ways with Jason Kidd, right? What the fuck? So they parted ways with Jason Kidd. As such, many believe that Irving trade could be next for Dallas, as he is the last man standing of sorts from the old regime. Now, I do think a trade is likely for Kyrie because I mean, the Mavericks aren't they're in rebuild mode, right? Cooper Flag is significantly younger than Kyrie Irving. They don't fit the same timeline. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Dallas Mavericks just, call a spade and, trade Irving for assets to utilize to build around Cooper Flag. Now, as far as goddamn ads, it says here, there is, of course, some risk involved when it comes to trading for Irving, who is coming off a devastating injury, roughly 15 months and counting now away from the game. But Irving recently provided a very encouraging update on his own status. I think he said on his Twitch stream that he's getting better. I think he said he's like 95%, something like that. Meanwhile, Lakers Luka Doncic and Pistons Cade Cunningham and the Rockets are returning Fred VanVleet, who would all have navigate crowded point guard situations by bringing in Irving. But the PG needy, which I do agree with. So as far as the Rockets, I don't think it makes sense that, I mean, unless they're gonna get off Fred VanVleet. Now I do think that Kyrie Irving is a better player than Fred VanVleet, and I think it would be an upgrade if they were to swap him out. Now, as far as how, I mean, you saw the clips. He looks sharp. He looks good. But obviously, that's against, kids, right? Playing in the league is a whole different thing. So we're gonna have to see how he looks. I mean, I don't know, given if he doesn't get traded before the season starts, and this next season. But we'll see. As far as the Lakers, I mean, it somewhat kind of makes sense because obviously Luka and Kyrie are linked. They were in Dallas. They went to the finals. They lost to the Celtics, of course. I mean, they were a pretty good duo. I think at one point they were like the best scoring guard duo at one point in NBA history. I think they were just lights out. That's at one point. But I think I like the Timberwolves the most. Kyrie Irving with Anthony Edwards would be insane. That would be insane. That would be cool to watch. It's cool to see Kyrie Irving back though. As far as playing basketball, he looks sharp, man. Can't wait to see him back on the hardwood, taking ankles and shit. It says Shaq says he's a hater of players who don't care about giving fans a good show.
Professionally jealous of some of these bums that's making money. I am a hater. I'm telling you I'm a hater because you're making all this money, but you're not protecting this thing of ours.
Right.
Because if you're making all this money and you're not giving the people a good show,
Right.
at some point this thing of ours will end.
Yeah, that's
and I don't want it to end. So like I be trying to say certain things to get them mad to get them to play hard, but these cats making so much money, they don't care.
Yeah.
250? Oh, I'm professionally jealous of some of these bums that's making money. I am a hater. I'm telling you I'm a hater because you
Good old Shaq, man. Should I react to this? All right, yeah, let me do this one. So Olden, and I don't want to, Olden Polynice, he was on a podcast with Byron Scott, and they spoke about how if a team that wins 4 or 5 rings in a 10-year span, that makes them a dynasty. So in the clip, he says that the 0-1 Lakers and the Golden State Warriors, did he also say, so he says the 0-1 Lakers and the Golden State Warriors, they weren't a full dynasty. They were a mini dynasty. And I was like, what the fuck? I've never heard this before. Like these old heads say some of the these old heads say some of the craziest shit, bro. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, so it says here, just to give you guys a better description, it says Olden Polynice reacts to Byron Scott saying if a team wins 4 or 5 rings in a 10-year span, it's a dynasty. He says the 0-1 Lakers and the Golden State Warriors, they weren't a full dynasty. They were a mini dynasty. What?
If you're a dynasty or not.
What do you have to win in those 10 years to become one?
At least 4 or 5.
4?
You know, I think in the 80s we won 5.
Does it
dynasty?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me flip the script.
They ran that decade.
Lakers won 3 in a row. They were considered a dynasty, correct?
The 3 in a row, but I think that was a little bit premature. They were close though. Oh,
but
you keep big fella.
Oh, that would have been if big fella and Kobe stayed together.
I get the 3 is not 5, but how you win it.
But nobody's won 3. I'm sorry, nobody's won 3 in a row since.
Right. That's what I'm. That to me, the how.
Yeah, so I'm confused. Nobody. What?
You back to back shows the dominance, and it shows that you are the team of that era. So I can see where that's borderline could be seen as one, because I don't think, in all due respect, he was head coach of the New Jersey Nets of that year. You know, we so I think I do think the Lakers was a dynasty, in my opinion. The Shaq and Kobe, we know. I
think
many.
Okay, so he knows ball. He knows ball.
Dynasty. Come on, Shay. It was.
Hold on.
It was a mini dynasty.
Nah, bro.
Come on, Shay. It was a mini dynasty. It wasn't a full-blown one.
I still go by in that 10-year span. They won 3 in a row, but what happened the other 7 years?
They won 2 more.
They were dynasty.
No, but it was two different teams.
That don't matter.
2 different teams.
It was
in that 10-year
but
span,
they still won 5
No, the
rings.
Lakers themselves are a dynasty.
Right.
That legacy
So you're
and everything.
referring to the team core.
The team core, that one set of group of guys, yes. Like right now with OKC, they're not a dynasty, okay? Just like the Warriors were not a dynasty. They got close, but they weren't. So I'm not going to put Shaq over here with the 3 wins and then he leaves and then these. No, there's
So
2
you
different teams.
So if you took Kevin Durant off Golden State's championships, right? They're not a dynasty because they won 3 in 4 years, if I'm not mistaken.
3 and 4 years.
3 and 4 years.
They needed 2 more. But they were still, like I said, those are mini dynasties. They got close.
This is insane, bro. Like, without question, the Warriors were a dynasty. What is this guy even saying?
So is what you did in 10 years so that they took a break? Then what? I think Stephen won one more, right? For 4.
Just one, yeah. One more. That's not a dynasty.
4 in 10 years, not a dynasty?
Was
That's
it 10 years?
That's half of a decade.
4 and 10?
OP.
But it wasn't 10 because those were in the teens. We're in the 20s now.
Yeah.
The last one they won was in the 20s.
Correct.
That's a whole different decade.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm speechless. I hope the comment section gets flooded for this video that I put on YouTube, because I need y'all to defend the Warriors. I need y'all to defend this shit. The fuck? Let's read the comments. Somebody put, "This is my first time hearing that a team has to win 4 or more to be a dynasty, because I've always heard if a team wins 3 or more, that's a dynasty. And the Kobe Shaq Lakers won 3 in a row. That's a dynasty. The KD Steph Warriors won 3. That's a dynasty, bro. A three-peat is a dynasty. Stop underrating. I mean, KD Steph Warriors, I mean, yeah, I'm not even against that. A three-peat is a dynasty. Stop underrating the accomplishment. It's ridiculous." Somebody puts, "What the fuck is a mini? Just making stuff up." Spurs 99 to 07, 4 rings. Spurs, Lakers 2002 to 10 ring. Okay, 5 rings. Warriors 2015, 2022, 4 rings. LeBron, 4 dynasties this century. I'm not sure if I don't know. There's a LeBron era, but as far as I don't know about that one. Even those 80s Lakers didn't win 3 in a row. False. Even those ladies. Oh, okay. Then Kobe dynasty himself, if that's the case, he won 3, then 2. LOL, he won 5 in 10 years. Man, 3 in a row ain't no damn mini dynasty. That's a full-blown dynasty. We run this conference and league 3 years straight. What the hell? Yeah, so some background on Olden Party Nice, who was the initial Olden Party Nice is actually the other gentleman who was speaking, who said it's a mini dynasty. Yeah, he's obviously a former NBA player, but this take is absolutely diabolical. I completely disagree. And let me know what y'all think about that. That's some crazy shit. That's crazy. That's wild, bro. Was there anything else that I want to talk about? They have the Giannis Antetokounmpo trade rumors. Should I talk about that? I'll probably talk about that. I think I've reacted to enough stuff today. I obviously gave my Spurs pick. I gave my Spurs pick to win Game 4 today. I expect them to handle business as they should, because they're still in the hole. Like, the Spurs are still in the hole, so they gotta dig themselves out of that for sure. For sure. For sure. By the way, if you're watching this stream, I would really appreciate if you follow me on Twitch. My Twitch handle is bballunlocked_. That is bballunlocked_. You should probably follow me on Twitch, because prior to our YouTube live streams, we play a little bit of music, little intermission before the stream starts, and I'm trying to get, affiliated on Twitch. So make sure y'all support the Twitch. Again, bballunlocked_. Follow me on Twitch. Okay? Follow your boy on Twitch, man, for real. I would definitely appreciate the support. Twitch account. Also follow me on Instagram, you guys. We're trying to hit 12K. We're trying to hit 12K by, what are we, in June? Trying to hit 12K by August. Okay? Trying to hit 12K by August. Who fuck follow me? All right? Make sure y'all follow me on all platforms. And yeah, man, this has been another installment of, if you're watching Beball Unlocked, Beball Unlocked. If you're watching TV, Beball Unlocked TV. You feel me? But I appreciate the support, guys. I'll see you on the next stream. Go Spurs, go. Let's get it.